Melanie left. Thanks, Melanie. Drive safely, be safe, stay safe, yada. And right behind Melanie, we have none other than Renee Watson, the queen of diversity and inclusion from Bexar County. What's happening, Renee?
Hello, and how is everybody doing today? I'm just honored to be here to be able to join you today, Dr. Doug, for this time we can spend in fellowship and spread the word about some programs we have going on.
And that's what we want to talk about. You always have programs. I can tell you when I first moved here, and then we first time I was still at I can't say the name of that company because they didn't pay me, so I'm not mentioning their name.
But I know who you're talking about.
Right. And and it was just like the county was just getting their arms around this whole inclusion, and they came to the realization, and then you kind of had several promotions or moved up since then, and it's just I've watched over the years how the city and the county has changed toward toward including minorities and women and people with disabilities and disabled veterans and all of the people that you include. And it's you are responsible for that. And I just want to thank you on behalf of everybody in San Antonio who's taken advantage of your hard work and your labor. So I really do. And I know it's a labor of love with you. And but just I mean it's just phenomenal. And once again, I was telling people about the people and the research we have in San Antonio are like no other city, and there's not another city that has another Renee. So thank you.
Well, we appreciate it because, yes, I remember the first time we came across your path.
Mm-hmm.
You were working for this little organization. We started talking about strategic planning
That's right.
for African American owned business.
That's right.
And that helped us to set the foundation because the county actually did a study for African American owned businesses. And we really focused and we went out in the community. We hired UTSA,
Mm-hmm.
Center for Community and Business Research. And now we are implementing that program.
Right. That's right.
And we can show you we on our website, on the county site, we've even mapped them where Black owned businesses are located on a GIS mapping.
That is awesome.
With details, what do they sell? And then we're producing reports of how much the county has spent with them. And we really do an aggressive effort to make sure that they have the opportunity to learn about what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why days like this are so important because we want to share that message. But across the board, whether they're business owners, LGBT, veteran, small, minority women, and then just the general business community. Because right now in these times, everybody needs to have a seat at the table.
Right. That's right. I can remember, like once again, going not to be a revisionist, but when you started, the definition of Black-owned businesses was just a cluster of places on the east side.
Correct.
And it's really grown to expand. It like knows no boundaries. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's correct. Because like I said, we mapped that data. And if you go to the site, we even map it on the 12 counties.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bexar County is in the center of the Alamo Area Council of Governments,
yes.
Which is 12 counties, all those counties that touch Bexar County. So we figure if you can get in your car, you can move your business, or you can do business across county lines, we want to include you. So we have that information. So we have about 2,400 African American owned businesses that are either state, or we got them in the city, the county, the SARS, CPS Energy. There's a lot of different partners that we work on, and we make sure that we share that information because we're all looking to do business with that same or with that one business.
That's right.
So it would depend on what you sell, whether it's your professional service, because you have a skill like architect or engineer, or you have something you produce, like some type of manufacturing. Right now, we're talking about masks and coverings.
Think about that.
And rubber gloves. We're finding those from small business. Or you're in the construction industry and you have some type of skill that you do. Those are the type of businesses we have identified.
That is totally awesome. And what about now, with this whole thing with this shelter in place and all this other stuff, what about people now who have started virtual businesses? Have you come across any of those?
We have so many businesses that are, so many individuals who are looking at go forward because they were probably either near retirement or near doing something else, or their business model has really changed. So county government is where you file for your assumed name or your DBA. Doing business as. We did a webinar, which is posted on our website, featuring our county clerk, Lucy Adami Clark,
I saw that
just about a week ago. And we've had so many calls, so many individuals that didn't even know they needed a DBA for their business.
Now, one of the things you want to do out there, if you guys are paying attention, you need to go and you need to like the Bexar County Facebook page, and you need to bookmark their website because they have some really top quality webinars and things that are on there, and they're free.
That's
so
correct.
A lot of these places are charging for that type of information, and they're free. So please go do that today. bookmark both of those and like the Facebook page as well.
And we're seeing the change of ownership because sometimes there's a legacy business in our community. Most of our small businesses, they've been from generation to generation,
right?
Especially some of our local mom and pops and restaurants. And we're seeing the sons and the daughters come in now and getting the DBAs for their fathers, their grandparents, to really make sure that their business stays in the family. And we get excited about that.
That's awesome.
We get very excited about that. But the other group that no one ever thinks about is our formerly incarcerated individuals. They come in and they're pulling their DBAs because sometimes they can't get a job. And, with Commissioner Calvo, we have an excellent job fair.
Absolutely, every year.
But sometimes they still can't find employment. So they do have a skill. They do have to still earn some type of living.
Absolutely.
So I meet with all kinds of individuals who come in and they're looking at getting their DBA. We get them with the tax office. We get them with the IRS to get their information set up. So they too, and believe it or not, they also qualify right now for the stimulus funds for the PPP.
Wow.
So if you're in that category, you're not on parole. There are some requirements.
Absolutely.
But they also are eligible for those funds because we have to keep their businesses open as well.
Absolutely. That is so totally awesome. Now, you've got tell me a little bit more about this tracker. Is that available to everybody? The GPS or GIS tracker that you said?
Yes, it is. It's on our website at bear.org/SMWE. We have an acronym and a whole logo that says the African American Business Enterprise Initiative. On that website, you can look at, it's a GIS map, and we update it once a month.
Okay.
You go into it and you say, what type of business are you trying to do businesses? Where you're looking at it. And it's really overwhelming that we get these phone calls back and say, we thought all these businesses was just on the east side. But they're all over the place. And we red dot them.
That's why I brought that, because people still say that.
People have a negative connotation, and they're all over and all types of business.
That's right.
And the county is really promoting that, and we're looking at, because that's an underutilized group that we know, and we have evidence that says that. And then what types of businesses and what do they sell? Right now in this COVID-19, we have a lot of beauty barbershops, a lot of restaurants. We are making sure that they get some services, and how do they get and be a part of this? We have some other webinars coming up that we can talk about in a few minutes. But in the disparity study, we want to make sure that they're included as well.
We're going to talk about the disparity study in detail.
As long as with our we have some small firms with women-owned business, especially if they're in the construction industry. We want to look at what they're doing and how they're maintaining their staff.
Okay.
And then the social distancing and all the requirements to keep everybody safe. We have those webinars coming up as well.
Okay. And because we want to make sure that when those come up, and they're on your website now, right?
That's correct.
So I'll make sure that we start posting
those.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Make sure that.
We're starting with Small Business Week. It's not Small Business Week because that's a national term that it has got postponed because of COVID. But we're doing Small Business Webinar series the week of May 4th through the 8th.
Okay.
So we're starting on the Monday the 4th with the SBA and UTSA.
That's a week from Monday.
A week from Monday. And they're free. They're probably about an hour and a half, and they're live speakers. And they're from the individuals who do this every day. It's not just us as a county talking about it. Terry Williams, who has just been appointed as Associate Regional Director for UTSA's Center for the COVID Business Recovery Accelerator.
Awesome.
They're going to be doing all kind of services, and they got special funding for that. She's going to be sitting with Anthony Ruiz, who's over the SBA.
Oh, wow.
And that's Monday morning at 10 o'clock.
Okay. We're going to make sure we got a support Terry for that. Absolutely. We're going to be that. That's right.
And then on Tuesday, we're doing Bibliotech.
Okay.
Because the Bexar County's All Digital Library has a section for small business resources.
Awesome.
And you can find all kind of books. All that is free. The county spends lots of money on subscriptions through that online library.
We're going to make sure that everybody knows all about that. Thank you so much for sharing. Hey, now let me ask you this: this whole opening, closing, whatever we're doing here, we're either open, we're closed, whatever we are, the social distancing and all of that stuff. So I guess it's Monday. From a state perspective, there's going to be some limited stores that are going to be open that have been closed. I think it's like curbside pickup, whatever. I don't know all the rules and everything about it. But so let's say we're in Atlanta and I'm a hairstylist or whatever, and the state is open, and I need the money, so I got to open my salon. Does the county do anything like with those types of organizations to try to help them be creative in the way that they're providing service, so they can provide a service and stay safe.
Well, we are waiting right now on the governor's order.
Uh-huh.
The mayor and the county judge, every day provides an update.
Right. Yes, they do.
And every time that the governor makes issues another order, it's on the city of San Antonio on the COVID-19 response team.
Mm-hmm.
There have been some direction to retail establishments for drive-by pickup.
Mm-hmm.
For restaurants, you see, we've been doing that for a while.
Absolutely.
On Tuesday, there's a joint meeting with the city and the county, city council and the county commissioners to talk about the next step. Okay. We are waiting on the governor. The governor is supposed to be issuing what's going to happen after April 30th.
Okay.
Because all of the on hold is through that under the current executive order.
Under his, but now ours, San Antonio and the county, Bexar County, I thought that went through May 15th.
So the governor is in charge and supersedes everything.
I know.
Okay. So we are waiting to see if he's going to continue and it be consistent, or if he will be changing and issuing other orders. As you may know, and the community may know, that the county and the county judge and the mayor have appointed a committee.
That's right.
To look at the health recommendations. Mm-hmm. So we are expecting their report on Monday, and then the economic committee will take that information and then move forward to say, well, this is how we think that you should open up by industry with best practices, with details, analysis to keep everyone safe.
Well, one thing I do have to say about our governor, he has acquiesced when it's come to like cities that have taken a strong position, he's not been as overruling as some other states have been, and so we appreciate that.
So we're just waiting to see what the next step.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we're asking those by industry. So mm-hmm. You brought up the barbershop guy to make sure that your employees are safe and they're following the social distancing, the face coverings, the gloves, and then what other types of sanitation within the, and that's going to be a very interesting way that they go back to work.
It really is, because we've got tattoo parlors are big in the city. We talked about the barbers, the hairstylists, the massage parlors, massage heights, the restaurants, right. And so it just seems it's really. I don't like things being closed. I don't like to see people losing money. I don't like seeing people. But you can't put profits over health, and we've done a good job of not doing that. But it's just at some point in time, people got to go back to work, because we can't wait for a vaccine. That's going to be a year.
And we want to make sure that the business owners are taking every precaution, and we don't have a second outbreak.
That's right.
Because the health is what is most important.
That's right.
And there are different programs, so that's why we're asking them to go to the SBA website and apply for the PPP. If you applied with your bank previously and you received a notification, because I'm getting those calls that they ran out of money, mm-hmm. but your application is in the pipeline, mm-hmm. follow up on Monday and find out what is the status of the application.
Okay.
Because when the next round of money that just got approved this week is released, they will start funding those.
Because one of the things I said on this call on Friday was that those who have been pre-approved but haven't received funds because they run out of money,
right,
will be the first ones,
correct,
recipients of with this new round.
Correct.
Okay.
And then we're encouraging you, don't get discouraged. Mm-hmm. You can still call Lift Fund, mm-hmm. because Lift Fund is helping, as well as Terry Williams with the UTSA mm-hmm. Accelerator. But talk to your lending institution. Well, if you don't have a relationship, if you just have deposits at a credit union, call someone and ask them, are they in the program?
Right.
On the SBA website, they put a list of lending institutions that are participating in the program.
Okay.
Today, if you're listening, you can go on that website and you can look at it and see if your lending institution is on that website.
On our website.
If you have not filed, pick up the phone and find out, because you have a deposit, either personal or business account at
mm-hmm.
that lending institution. Or if you don't have an account and it's someone in your neighborhood, maybe you know someone who has an account, see if they can help you to get your application
get in the door. Absolutely.
Because there may be a fourth round.
Mm-hmm.
We're hearing that there may be a fourth round.
I was listening to that this morning. Yeah, that and there probably will be, but hopefully by then we will have our arms around this better, as far as testing who's sick, who's not sick, and all this other stuff. Because I just heard today for some study that said that one of the things people were hanging their hats on is that if you had the virus and you survived it and you're better now, that there be some kind of a pent up antibody that you may not be susceptible to it if it came back again. but now they just said that is not accurate. That they can actually, if you had it once, you can get it again, kind of a
Well,
thing.
we don't want to go by with not having enough data.
Right.
It's a little bit early in the process.
Right.
So that's why we are encouraging our business owners to do everything they can to keep a safe environment.
Okay.
If you're going out with curbside pickup, make sure that who's ever providing that has the mask and the gloves to the person in the car, because the person in the car may or may not have the necessary things, even though the city says that you should.
I was going to say,
always protect your employees.
Yeah.
We're very encouraging. We're asking all those citizens of San Antonio to comply with the governors and the
mayor and the judges
with parks, the social distancing. And everything to try to let's stay safe, everybody.
I've it's just like driving around doing things for the paper and the station. I've been pleasantly surprised at the reaction of the citizens of San Antonio and Bexar County, because it seems like everyone is adhering to everything. So that's awesome.
Correct.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us. All right. We've got to get down to the nitty gritty now.
Okay.
All right. I want to talk about this disparity study thing.
Sure.
We got rid of all the preamble stuff. This is what's important.
That's correct.
And because from what I understand, correct me where I make a mistake, this study that you guys are preparing for now, the county's preparing for now, that you hired this great organization out of Atlanta. So tell us a little bit about that in a minute. But people, citizens, average people will have an opportunity to participate.
Correct. Everyone can participate. So let's start off what it is, a disparity study. Because sometimes you'll see that title and let's talk about what that really means. So the county has engaged Commissioners Court, engaged the firm of Griffin and Strong, which is based out of Atlanta, Georgia. They went through a competitive bid process. They scored the highest. They did interviews, and then they are under contract to deliver a document that says that basically has three parts. They're coming in first to look at the county's utilization. How do we do business? Our policy procedures. Who do we do business with? How much have we spent with those businesses? And then they have to determine the geographic marketplace, which means where are those businesses located? And then we go out and they say, now let's talk about an availability. Who's out there that we do business with, should be doing businesses with, and maybe can do business with? Because the test is called ready, willing, and able. Okay. You have to be ready, willing, and able. So when you say ready, it means that you've registered with us, you've registered with the city, you've registered with any public entity or the private sector. I'm willing. I've gotten certified through the RCA, through the hub. I'm willing. I want to know what's going on. And then I'm able. So there's a test that they have to do, and they, through their professionalism, they know how to do that test. Okay. Because we all know that in the construction industry, that's a gray area, because construction firms are what we call elastic. They can rent temporary employees, and they can rent equipment. They might not have to have that. You can do a big job, but you can go and rent and lease equipment to be able to do that. So then they put that document together and say, let's see, is there a disparity, or is there a disparate in between the ready, willing, and able and the utilization? Okay. It's not based on population. So there's a lot of misconceptions sometimes that in different communities, especially in Atlanta or San Antonio, we have a huge population of one ethnic group, and the utilization shows something else. But the ready, willing, and able firms might not be that high. They don't pass the test. Okay. So there's a test that's in there. Then there's another part of the community's participation, which is where we really want everybody to participate, is to come out and tell us, if you have done business with the county, what was your experience? If you have not, then why not? Why not? And if you're willing to, tell us how we can get in touch with you and get registered so we can be able to go forward with you. Okay. And then they put all that together in one document, and then they'll start having public hearings. They'll put it out there as a draft. Everybody can look at it, give us feedback. And then they come back and say, well, let's talk about these recommendations. Yes, you might have been doing good in this place, but you're defaulting on this here. Okay. And then here's some other programs that we want you to consider and then we'll bring that to Commissioner's Court for them to look at. Wow, this is like really, really comprehensive. It looks like very detailed. Yeah, much more than the ones in the past. But you learn from experience, and that's where you guys are today. So that is really, really, really exciting. Tell us about Griffin and Strong. So Griffin and Strong's is a firm that's based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Rodney Strong, who is one of the principal partners, he actually worked for Maynard Jackson, and he was the first who led the city of Atlanta's airport program when they established a minority in business program. So he's been around in this business for a very long time. He also serves on the American Contract Compliance Association's board of directors, which is the national group that does these types of programs which our agency participates in. And we would have hosted here in September their national conference, but due to COVID, that we're pushing that back to 2021
Okay.
to be able to bring
But
all
it's
those
still going to be here in
it's
San
going to be
Antonio.
in San
Okay.
Antonio. And then Atlanta will follow us. We will be doing the 34th year. And what that event is, if all the practitioners from all over the country that basically have my job at airports, state agencies, colleges and universities, we come together once a year to get educational and professional services.
Okay.
I teach classes now at that as I've gone through the executive leadership program and several of the other areas. And then several of my staff team, because I have 5 team members now, several of them
Used to be just you.
Used to be just me for a long time.
A long time.
For a long time. You
It's
remember?
like, right, I
that.
remember. It's like, come on, team. You turn around. It's like, oh, it's just me.
It's just me. But I got the same email, the same phone
Oh,
number
yes, you do.
from day one.
Oh,
so,
you've always been accessible. That's all you've
actually,
always.
in May, it will be 20 years that I've been at Bexar County.
You and I don't care what time of the day or night, I can put your name on an email or a post, and I look 5 minutes later, got it. I'm like, is she awake?
Well, we get excited about this. You have to have a passion for this work.
Absolutely.
Because when you're supporting businesses who, one day to the other, you have those, you may not be able to sleep, and there are other issues. So if I've learned, and I've worked for elected officials for about 30 years. A long
time.
Doing constituent services. So if you took the time to send me, send some public entity a note because you needed help, we have the responsibility to respond to you as soon as we can.
Very well said. I wish more people thought that way in your position.
But and then our main line for our department, it rings on my desk. I answer that phone every day that I'm in the office.
That's awesome.
And then we have a staff commitment to try to call people back within 2 hours of us. 2 hours, not 24.
I was going to say 24. That's 2.
No, 2 hours.
That is
because
outstanding.
if you, like I said, if you are looking for something as a business owner, maybe you have a question, you're on your computer talking about a DBA, or you could be doing anything, but there's something that we try to get that. So now with technology, those phone calls and those emails are routed to our cell phones.
That's right.
So why wouldn't we respond?
That's right. That's right. That is us. That is all. So you got a lot going on, sister. That is just totally awesome. So now this study gets done. What do you anticipate being the next steps? Because we're going into next year, and what does the county hope to get out of doing this most recent study that you guys?
So the data will show us how we're doing as a county, and that is the first thing. The county manager in 2017 put a new policy in place that asked all of the office departments that report to him to make sure that we're doing outreach and solicitations, and we're letting our small business community know about the transactions at Bexar County. That has changed. That has been a game changer, we feel like, in a lot of things that we're doing. The consultant is actually looking at 5 years worth of data.
Oh my!
So they go in and they look at 5 years worth of expenditure data, and then they look at the solicitations and what have we done, the policy procedures. So they should see a significant change in that.
Okay.
Then we have the elected officials and the courts, because the county is not a centralized purchasing. We have 5 individuals who are elected, and they have their own statutory authority on how they do business. And that's the district clerk, the county clerk, the tax assessor, collector, the DA, and the sheriff.
Okay.
So they have their own policy procedures, but they do partner and use the purchasing department. And we make sure that we have a good outreach. And that's why on Wednesday, we're doing May 6th, we're doing our webinar with the tax assessor, Mr. Ureste. And we're talking about business taxes.
Okay.
So everybody will be able to come in, because that's a hot topic.
Oh,
Whether how your business is in your taxes and your tax payments and what's happening with your business taxes. Not just your personal, your property taxes, but your business taxes.
That's right.
In these times. So Mr. Ureste is going to be available to be able to do that webinar on Wednesday, May 6th at 10 a.m.
He's doing that in person?
He's doing that in person for us.
Oh my gosh. I don't think he's ever done that before.
So he does our outreach. When we do our outreach in buildings, he does be a part of that. He's been doing that with us several times, at least 3 or 4 times a year. But we're doing the outreach, and one good thing about the webinar is once we post them, you can go back and look at them later.
So make sure you go on there. It's important that you bookmark the county's page, because these webinars are going to start the week of May 5th, 4th, week of May 4th. You want to make sure that you get on there, because this the tax assessor one on Wednesday. If you don't see anything else, you need to see that. If you're a business owner, because that is where so many of us make mistakes. We don't tabulate our taxes properly, and some of us don't even charge taxes, and that's not good. That's not a way of doing business.
And we always need to make sure that the Bear Appraisal District sets the taxes. Mr. Ureste in his office only is the collector and assessor of the taxes. Okay. So we always make sure that people know the difference, because right now during these times that a lot of folks will be talking to the appraisal district. But we're talking about your business taxes, what's happening, especially if you in the retail business or you got equipment
Mhm.
and all those kind of things. His office has the first thing he did was put chairs in your tax office for your license plate. So if you go down there on Martin, and now he has a drive-through center where you can drop off stuff. You don't even have to get out over there on Pleasant Road.
Wow,
They have a drive-through tax service center on Pleasant Road.
that's awesome.
So it's very, very good for those who are out in the community.
Yeah,
It serves seniors incredibly. You can just drive through.
because
and
I
drop
used
in
to
information.
hate going to that place.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I should have said that.
And it's open to the general public, especially
Wow.
those who have difficulty getting out, finding parking spaces, walking to the building.
Walking
They
to
have
the
that-
building.
They have a drive-through tax service on
That is a
on
Pleasant.
Pleasant Road.
Okay.
At our
That is awesome.
precinct one service.
Service center. Yeah. Okay. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Renee.
That was led by Commissioner Chico Rodriguez and all the things in partnership
Oh wow.
with the judge and the JPs down there, and they provide excellent service with the constable's office as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Renee,
It's a lot going on.
there's a lot going on. They keep you busy no matter
We
what.
try. But our efforts right now are really making sure that if you're transitioning your business, that we can help you, because we may not be able to give you the service, but we can link you up to whoever can help you with that
Okay.
acceleration.
Awesome. Thank you so very much for coming on today. I know it's a Saturday. You probably have many better things to do, but the information you provided today has been just, tremendous. It's worth its weight in gold. And thank you for your years and years and years of service. And you know what, Jeremy? She looks just like she did when I met her 20 years ago. I probably should have said that. I probably violated something right there. But
Well, I appreciate
I got to
it.
tell the truth.
I thank the Lord every day for
Every
the good
day.
days, and for the bad ones.
Absolutely, absolutely. You are just once again, you're the queen of minority businesses and disabled people and everything. We have so much that we owe for you, and thank you for your
We
service.
appreciate it.
We really appreciate you. San Antonio appreciate you. We love you. We love you. We love you. Stay safe. Thanks for coming on the show. And everyone, let's give. Well, wait, what is it? Yada, right?
Yada.
Yada. That was, we learned that from Melanie. That's
Correct. I actually served on her board at one time.
oh,
But
did you? Okay,
it's really
okay.
So I just have to say that because I am the chair this year of the MLK March. Want to make sure that the radio station is there. We're present and we're out front.
We will be there.
Because we definitely will be going back old school with the march and recognizing frontline workers.
Oh, there we
and
go.
Making a difference and making a change.
Absolutely.
Keely Petty is the commission chair, and I serve as the chair of the March committee.
Well, whatever you need me to do, I'm there for you. I can do
Absolutely.
whatever you need me to do. I'm there. Congratulations on that, by the way, because just the people who have done it before you have done a great job. They couldn't have picked a better successor.
So we thank Jada Andrew Sullivan for that appointment.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you,
Councilwoman.
Jada. Thank you, Councilwoman Jada, and I really appreciate it. She's doing good things over there as well. So everything's looking up. It used to be that people of color were felt forgotten and felt unincluded, and because of the work that you're doing and everything else, you're making us all feel like a part of the process, and thank you for that.
Thank you.
Renee Watson, Bexar County. Make sure you go like the Facebook page. Make sure you go and you bookmark the webpage. Remember, May 4th is an important week because those webinars, you're going to need to watch them. You're at home anyway. You're going to be needing to watch those webinars. Make sure you save them on your YouTube channel or whatever you got to do, because there's going to be a ton of information there that you will use and it will help benefit you. Also, next week is a big week. Make sure that you are paying attention to all the information that comes out, because that's when we find out what the next steps are as far as the COVID and social distancing and opening, and when we're going to open, how we're going to open, and all that. And everyone needs to understand what they're doing. And most of all, please show compassion for your fellow citizens, and you show compassion by practicing social distancing and all the safety procedures that the guidelines have to offer. Get your mask, get your gloves, and make sure you're following that. So, Dr. Doug here with you, KRV FM, the Heart and Soul of San Antonio. Thanks so much, Renee. We love you. We'll be right back.
Thank you.